Hello, welcome to my house and welcome to my channel. I'm Laura Cepeda and today I'm going to show you something that you have been asking me to make. Look at this. I'm going to make a kid's vest, but I will show you how you can make it in different sizes. I know that you wanted to make also a men's vest. Well, you can transform this idea and make it to the size that you want, okay? So it's very easy, it's very simple. I will show you. As you could see, I'm using needles and this material is perfect for this project. I love the colors and the combinations. Remember that there are a lot of different material that you can use. In this case, I'm going to use this one. I will give you the step by step, but before we start, please subscribe to my channel. It's very important to me. This is the way that you thank me for this work, okay? It means a lot to me. But well, let's don't lose more time. Remember that first I will give you the material list and then the step by step. Well, I'm going to make this vest for a 2-year-old boy. I'm going to use 200 grams of this fine material. Look at the colors. It's so beautiful and soft. And I'm going to use a pair of needles of number 5. Here I will share all the information if you want to buy the same material that I'm going to use in this video. So let's start. Remember that if you want to buy and use the same materials that I use in all my videos, you can visit my online store www.lauracepeda.es. Well, this is the secret if you want to make this vest for a different size. So this is how you are going to calculate. You are going to use the number of needles, the yarn that you are going to use, and you are going to make it by yourself. In this case, I'm going to make it by my own, so that's why I cast on 15 stitches. And for example, I'm making this for my grandson. So the width of his hips are 25 centimeters. So I know that I cast on 15, I have to complete the rest of the centimeters, so I will need 15 stitches more. Then I will need like 7 stitches more to complete the centimeters of the width of the waist of my kit. Okay, so I'm going to cast on 37 stitches, sorry. So now you know that you are going to take these stitches as a reference, and according to the size and according to the width of the waist of the person that you are making this for, you are going to try to complete taking these stitches as a reference. So well, once that you know how many stitches you are going to need according to the size you are making this vest for, we are going to cast on the stitches with one thread and with a pair of needles of number 5. Remember that this is the way that I know to cast on the stitches. I think that this is the easiest and also the better way, because with this you won't waste any material. So I'm going to cast on 38 stitches for a 2-year-old boy. Remember that this is for my grandson. He's a little bit tall, so don't take this as a reference because you know that every kid is different. So well, in my case, I'm going to cast on 38 stitches. And following the technique that I gave you, you can make this for a baby, for yourself, and for everybody. Well, once we finish to cast on the stitches that we need, in this case I cast on 38, we are going to knit the first row. Okay, we are going to continue knitting for several rows. This is how we are going to start the vest, and then we are going to change the stitch to knit the rest of the vest. But for now we are going to knit, so I'm going to continue like this for several rows. Okay, see you. And once I have the beginning that I want, I will tell you how many rows I made. So well, this is what is going to happen when we finish each row. First, we are going to turn around our project. We are going to pass the first stitch, and then we are going to continue knitting the rest. So like this is how we are going to make for several rows, and then at the end I will tell you how many rows I made. Look, for the edge of the vest I made 5 rows with this stitch. If you want, you can make more or less rows according to the design and to the style that you want for this vest. Okay, well, for now I'm going to change the stitch to make the rest of the vest. So at the end of the rows that we want for the edge, we are going to continue with jersey stitch. It means that we are going to make one row knitting and one row with port stitch. And also here in this row is where we are going to increase one. We are going to pass the first, then we are going to knit 5, 3, 4, 5, and then right before the 6 here we are going to increase one. We can take it from here, knit it, and then we will continue. And again 5, and in the 6th we will increase. 3, 4, 5. 5, and here we are going to increase one in the 6th, and then we will continue, and we are just making this in this row to tell the difference between the elastic and the rest of the stitch. So again we are going to knit 5, and in the 6th we are going to increase until the end of the row. Well, here I finished the row, and at the end I count my stitches and I have 45 stitches. It means that I only increased 7 stitches. So well, now we are going to continue with the rest of the jersey stitch. Now I'm going to make pour. I'm going to pass the first one and I'm going to pour. Pour means that we are going to put the thread in front and we are going to knit but backwards. You see? So with this stitch is how we are going to continue for the rest of the vest. We are going to knit one row and then we are going to pour in the next one. This is the jersey stitch. And remember that from now on we are going to continue with the same stitches, okay? In this row we are not going to increase anymore and we are going to continue all the rows with the same number of stitches. So for now let's continue making more rows. Well, as you can see, I made more rows and I arrived to the armhole. So from the armhole to here where we start the edge, it measured 21 centimeters. So I'm going to stop here. Remember that I'm making a small vest. I'm making this for a 2-year-old boy. So you could see that from the bottom it's a little bit tight and the rest of the body it's a little bit loose. As you could see, the jersey stitch, you can see the right side in one side and the wrong side in the other side. Okay, so to make the armhole, we are not going to increase or reduce. What we are going to make is that the first 5 stitches, we are going to pour them. We are going to pass the first one and then we are going to pour the next one. We are going to remark the difference of a stitch. As you could see here in this side, we have the right side. So at the end, we will have a similar stitch that the one that we made in the bottom. And then the next ones, we are going to knit them. And then at the end, we are going to leave the last 5 stitches in hold to make the same, what we have just made. I'm loving this project. The yarn is so soft and beautiful. Look at the colors. I wanted to tell you that I have here from some of you that I need different, but the thing is that when I was little I used to see my mom, so I used to face her like this. My mom take the stitch from the back. I think that it's like the common way all the people make it, but this is the way I learned, and I don't know, please tell me in the comments if you do knit the same. So here I'm arriving to the last 5 stitches, so we are going to pour them. Pour 1, 2, pour 3, pour 4, and we are going to pour, oh no, knit the last one. If you want to have the same edge in all the rows, but if not, you can pour it too, so we can have a kind of chain here in the armhole. So I'm going to pour it. Okay, at the end, turn around, and now we are going to knit the first 5. And then we are going to pour the rest and also the last 5 we are going to knit them so we can have the same stitch that we use in the bottom. So at the end we will have this stitch here in the armhole. And well, also before I continue, before I forget, remember that I made from the armhole, I took 5 stitches, but if you are making this for a bigger size, maybe you are going to take 8 or 6 stitches according to the size you are making this vest for. So well, this is how we are going to continue making the same stitch that we made in the bottom from the armhole, and then we are going to continue making the rest with the jersey stitch. So well, we are going to continue like this until we arrive to the shoulder. So we are going to make as many rows as we need when we arrive there, because we are also going to repeat these 5 rows that we made at the beginning in the rest. But well, for now, let's continue and see you when we arrive almost to the shoulders. Look how pretty it is. So I made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 30 rows. So remember that I stopped just about to arrive to the shoulders because we are going to make the same rows that we made in the bottom. We are going to make it here on the top. So from here, I'm going to continue making the same stitch that I used in the bottom, and then I'm going to teach you how we are going to continue. Okay, so for now, let's make 5 rows more. And well, also we are going to continue with the same number of stitches. We are not going to reduce. We are just going to continue with the same stitches, okay? So well, let's continue making the next rows. So we are going to respect also the first 5 and the last 5 stitch with the same stitch that we were making before. And then when we finish to make these 5, we are going to continue with the rest. So in this case, we are going to knit 1 and the rest until we arrive to the next 5, where we are going to repeat this. So here's where I'm going to make the transition to make the same stitch that we make in the bottom. So we are going to continue knitting this part. So look, I already finished the 5 rows that we made at the bottom, remember? So now I'm going to measure so you can have this as a reference of according to the size that you are making this for. Remember that this is for a 2-year-old boy. So look, from the bottom to the top, it measures approximately 37 centimeters. Okay, so now we are going to pin off. As you could see, here is the armhole, and now we are going to repeat one piece exactly the same like this one, and then we are going to join. But for now we are going to pin off. We are going to knit 2 and come back with 1. Then take the next 2 and come back with 1. And remember that we have to make this a little bit loose, because if not, at the end it will be tight and the shape it would change. Okay, so when we finish, we are going to cast on again, and we are going to make one piece exactly like this one with the same number of stitches. Also, after the 5 rows at the beginning, we are going to increase, and everything also with the same number of rows for the armhole, and all the same. Once we have these 2 pieces, see you there. Well, look, as you can see, I already finished both parts. I sew here on the sides and in the shoulders. If you want, you can place some bottoms here, or like you want, or you can leave it like that too. Well, I sew like this. I use 1 thread, and with my embroidery needle, I use the eye of the embroidery needle. So like this, I won't damage the yarn. So this tip I gave you, it's important. As you could see, I would take from the bottom to the top and 1 stitch from one side and 1 stitch from the other side, and with this we don't create any pleat. Remember that this is the technique that I use in almost all my projects. And I made the same here also in the sides. Remember that I leave the space for the arms too. So well, at the end you can iron with plenty of steam this part, because as you could see, it kind of rolled this part. So we are going to iron, and we will fix it like this. So if you want, also at the end you can place some bottoms here, or some ribbons too, or a brooch, as you wish. Okay, so now let's see how it looks. Well, so what do you think? Easy and fast, alright? I hope that you have enjoyed making this project with me. Please make it for yourself, make it for your kids, make it for your husband, for your father. I'm sure they will love it. It's very easy, and I show you in the video how you can make it in different size, and you can match wearing this vest with your family in these coming holidays. Okay, please, if you make it, take a picture and tag me. I love to see you wearing my creations, and I love that you make these creations with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please let me know here in the comments below which project you want me to make. Remember that I have a Spanish channel where I share these projects first, and then if you want, I can share it in English too. But please let me know if you want, which kind of projects do you want for these coming videos, okay? Please also don't forget to follow me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. And please stay tuned in the coming videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!